Get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get it on. Mandate. Get it on. Welcome to the program. Thank you so much in advance for sharing the good news with a friend and a coworker and such and so on. Lots of good stuff planned. Old buddy Ray Oldhofer's coming in here in a couple of few. Brad Williams, comedian Brad Williams, calling in because he has a funny in-flight dog story to share with us. He told me and Drew a couple of weeks ago. I told him to save it for the air. And also director, actor, bear Jew, Eli Roth, coming in here. Real good guy. Couple things. First things first. Pain and Gain. You reviewed it yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about yesterday.
And I said they kept hitting that thing, a true story, based on a true story. And, you know, and even halfway in or three-quarters of the way in, they're like, can you believe this is a true story?
Yeah, they paused the film.
I said, how can it be true that The Rock's toe got shot off and he went and found it in a murky pond when the cops were shooting at him the whole time? And then you said...
What'd I say? Shit. I said it's a true story.
You
said it had to be true because it kept coming up.
Yeah, you
said,
it
was a character. Yeah, the toe was a recurring character.
Yeah, you said maybe not that particular point was true, but certainly getting his toe shot off was true because it kept coming up.
Tells me if Adam is bringing it up and going into length like this, it's not going to turn out that you were right, Bryan.
It never turns out.
I can't figure out your way to prove my point like that.
Here's how you know you're in trouble. If I either bring something up or I go, can I get a picture of you and your dog? Like if I chase you down by the baggage carousel, it's never going to be good.
And what's your cover? You're thinking of getting a dog?
People are so exquisitely narcissistic that you can just go, I want to take a picture of you and your dog, and they immediately hold up because in their mind, it's a trophy. In my mind, it's a sack that farts and is covered with Lyme disease. But in their mind, it's like you can say to any kid, I don't care how fucking homely, you know, if you found Ben Stein when he was 3 years old and you found his, you know, bald patch, horn rim glasses, bow tie, tweed jacket. If you found that guy, parents, when he was 3 and he went like, oh my God, I'm going to take a picture of your kid because he's so cute, but really you just want to make fun of how ugly the baby was, they would happily hold.
Right.
No parent ever goes, oh, come on, my kid's fucking homely. I know all you're going to do is talk shit about my kid and how homely they are. You do the same with anyone's dog, their kid, their anything. You all you do is feign a little interest in them and they immediately perk up. See what I'm saying?
True. I know. I've been thinking lately that maybe my dog isn't the cutest dog in the history of dogs. Maybe people are just blowing smoke up my ass. Just
a wee bit. All right. Do we have that Wikipedia thing that I spoke about at length to Gary before the show? And there it is already. You want to read that there?
Yeah. In the film, Paul Doyle robbed an armored truck and got his toe shot off. That sequence is entirely fictional. No member of the Sun Gym gang actually robbed an armored truck or had their toe shot off.
So now here's my point. You fucking say it's a true story 10 times, except for a lot of things that happen in the movie aren't true. You're yanking my chain, man. I mean, that's bullshit. Somebody's got to... There has to be, like, here's the thing. I can't just open a fucking burger joint and go 100% Kobe beef and it not be Kobe beef.
True.
I can't open a gas station and go, here's how much is in a gallon. I can't say this is 91 octane if it's 87 octane.
It's interesting to say that, though, because if you say, like, for example, calorie-free, like on a product, by law it has to be, like, 90% calorie-free. So that's funny. They play fast and loose with the, you know, based on a true story. It's like, well, it's a true story. But
is there any legal...
Well, there should be some sort of sanctioning board that says at least 72% of this must have happened. You can't have whole storylines. I mean, the toe was a storyline.
It was recurring several times after that point.
Right, and so you're sitting there, as I was sitting there, going, God damn, I can't believe this is true. This is mind-blowing. Of course, because I'm smart, I said this never happened. He never went and retrieved his toe.
Wish I was
smart.
Blah.
It would be nice. But also...
Hey, you're smart enough to know you're not.
Be awesome for me as well. Point is, I knew it wasn't true, and thus, what else in the story wasn't true, and now it's a true story, except for you get to make up shit along the way.
They showed the real characters at the end, I remember in pictures and profile shots and everything, and the one thing that wasn't true was they're much better looking in the movie.
Always seems to work out that way. All right, big Cinco de Mayo Mangria blowout at my Malibu house coming up this weekend. That is Sunday, and all the money's going to the Children's Hospital, and the tickets are tax deductible. Only a few of the VIP tickets left, and Jimmy's going to be there, and Cousin Sal's going to be there. Howie Mandel coming by. Press the flesh with Howie. He insists upon it.
He loves flesh pressing.
He loves the flesh. Okay. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So come on out and say hi and hear some really good music with John Popper and Susanna Hoffs and all that kind of stuff. Tickets still available. And speaking of flesh, I don't know if you guys had a hit off this Crave jerky, but somebody tweeted me. They said, I'm ruined for regular jerky, like the gas station, salty, dry shit. You know, the stuff like the Indians lived off of and Eskimos still live off of.
They shouldn't be able to put it in the same category as that kind of jerky.
It is not. Let me explain something. We drove to Merced 4 hours one way, 4 hours back. We had a whole thing of the Crave jerky in here. I tried the Chipotle. And I was like, somebody's got to go to the shop on Saturday and get that jerky. Chris, because he's a maniac, went and got a box of jerky, and we ate it all the way. I ate the box, too.
Oh, my God.
Because it had dust on it.
So good.
It smelled of jerk.
Last night, Chris came up to me and goes, my mouth's so dry. I've been eating it all weekend.
Box. I keep him in the car.
That's right. That's all he eats now. That's all he eats.
So today, came to the shop, ate 2 full packets, by the way, of the Chipotle. Can't get over the stuff. Low calorie, high protein. Did you try it, Allison?
I did. It was delicious. And when we were on stage and you said, because I knew that there was like a ton, a buttload of more jerky than anyone would think they would ever need. I figured we have a lifetime supply of jerky here. And then when you said that you came and cleaned out the place, I was like, oh, crap. So I was happy that there's still jerky here.
Oh, they got the cherry flavor. Like I said, low calorie, high protein. More protein than an egg. Fat-free, no nitrates, gluten-free. Just unbelievable stuff. And like I said, I'll give you a fair warning. You will be ruined now for jerky. So this is good. On the other hand, you'll be like a junkie who has to travel with his rig. You could get pulled over at the airport. You know what I mean? You try to bring that stuff into Turkey. You may go to some turkey jerky prison.
Ironically.
And never escape. I mean, you have to travel. There's no such thing as going to the gas station buying jerky once you get on this.
You know, what I like about it, on the back, there's this little meter that says whether, like, how sweet or spicy it is.
Unbelievable stuff. Anyway, Target, Cost Plus, World Market, Vons, it's all there. Or you can buy online at cravejerky.com. Enter the promo code Adam for 10% off. You will thank me. Yes, in the form of dried meats. All right. So let's see. Brad is not on the phone. That was a funny conversation we had. I said to Gary on the way in, I said, all right, so we got Brad's going to call in. He's going to tell us about this story on the airplane. He said, yeah. I said, well, what time's Brad calling in? He said, 7, when we start the show. I said, well, don't have him call in right when the show starts, because I'm going to be talking about
jerky.
Talking shit for a little while about toes being blown off and things like that. Have him, have him call in at 10 after, something like that, 15 after. Let me talk a little. I don't want to put the guy on hold. He's big celebrities. I mean, he's not big, but he's a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? He's a comedian. So I said, put him on, don't. And Gary said, oh, no. Brad's a big fan. He just wants to listen in. I said, yeah, but I feel weird. Just have him on hold for 10, 15 minutes before we bring him on. He goes, that's what he wants to do. I said, okay. Smash cut to, Gary, where's Brad? He's not on the phone.
You've grown up a lot. This is from the guy who used to keep Loveline callers on hold, who called in before the show. All the way to the end.
He would keep regular people on the phone that long.
It was insane on Loveline that the show was was 120 minutes. It was 2 hours. And people would call in. We would open the phone lines half hour, 25 minutes, whenever Bryan waltzed in there. We'd do it.
Waddled in there.
Waddled in. He was heavier back then. So he'd get in there and he'd just start answering the phone. So there were times when I would look at the screen toward the end of the night and someone would be on hold for 144 minutes. And I was like, how's that even possible? The show's not even, there's 5 minutes. And I realized, they called in 25 minutes before the show started. They were on. And then sometimes we'd go to them, they'd be asleep. Because they'd be calling from the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it was the wee hours of the morning.
I knew in the right mind would have hung up, but they fell asleep on the phone. It was still
please. There are many of them who would pop right up as soon as I called them. As soon as I picked up with them. All right. Funny thing at the dinner table tonight, I was talking to my daughter's friend. I like to do the what do you want to do? What do you like? What do you this? My son, again, the super unsatisfactory answer. What do you want to do? I want to be Iron Man. Okay, good. Write that down. It's going to work. At least I don't have to pay for college. It must be Iron Man. That's not the answer I'm looking for. I didn't ask what you want to do later on tonight. I'm talking about once the pubes start popping.
Yeah.
So
future plans.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, remind me to get back to this one. But I was sitting around just thinking today. I don't get to see people with really bad skin anymore. I miss that. You know what I mean?
You don't think it's your eyes?
No, I mean bad skin.
Like the episode of Facts of Life where they made fun of the guy and they called him Pizza Face.
Hello. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, once in a while, there's two things I miss from my childhood. I miss the kid with the short leg who wore the add a leaf to the heel of the Nike, like you patted the Nike out.
The matchbook under the table leg.
Yeah, one Nike looked like Fred Gwynn's elevator shoes from the Munsters, and then the other one was regular. Mm-hmm. I miss that guy. That guy doesn't exist anymore. And I miss the guy, or the chick, where you just saw him and you went like...
Yeah, I had the same reaction. It always looked painful.
Bad. Yeah,
I think it was painful.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I think it's cystic acne, and I imagine it hurts.
No, I mean, it's not only painful, but it's like, ooh, it's got to be tough.
Yeah.
On dates, job, applying for jobs. Like, you just have that look on their face. You're like, what's that date like? You know what I mean? Like, oh.
Did you guys never have bad skin?
I've had my share of zits, but I didn't have bad skin.
Mm-hmm.
But there used to be the kids, Pizza Face. There was nothing you could do about it. And all the scrubbing and all the bullshit turned out to be nothing but bullshit.
It was in the pre-retin-A days, I think.
Right. Now I feel like everything's been solved.
Yeah,
Nobody has really shitty skin anymore.
Right.
I kind of miss it.
Pills and things people take.
Find me a guy with a short leg and bad skin to follow me around, make me feel better about myself.
Who answers to the name Lucky?
Brad?
I have short legs, and I could start eating a lot of pizza.
I'll tell you what. Let's lengthen one leg and see if we can't fuck up your skin just a little bit. It'd be cruel to shorten the other one. Brad Williams calling in, one of my favorite comedians, and we were talking to Dr. Drew when you were in about an experience you had on an airplane, yes?
Yeah, and this goes right along the lines of what you've been talking about with these damn service animals. I was flying first class, which by the way, you haven't lived until you've been a midget sitting in a first-class seat and watching the faces of all the passengers as they pass by and look down.
It's such a
awesome.
It's such a waste. It's such a like when I'm just looking at the bottom of your kid-sized keds as I come by, just looking at the sole. When I realize I'm going to the back and I'm going to be essentially blowing myself for the next 4 hours, and your feet aren't even touching the ground. It's like when I see Paris Hilton climb out of a $200,000 Ferrari. I just go, oh, come on.
Mm-hmm. It's wasted on her.
It's waste. Yeah.
She doesn't know what to do.
She doesn't know what to do.
So I'm sitting there setting up shop, and the people are walking by me, but when they look down and see a midget in first class, they just kind of assume I'm a Make-A-Wish kid.
Sure, that's right. It's going to Euro Disney for his last trip. Mm-hmm.
But this was a red-eye flight, and red-eye flights, as you know, you're supposed to sleep. And so when you're supposed to sleep on the plane, they turn down the lights, they play a little soft music or whatever, and you go to sleep. On this plane, they were not turning down the lights. The lights weren't going off, and I asked the flight attendant what was going on, and she said that one of the passengers has a service dog on the plane, and if the lights go off, the dog is afraid of the dark, and the dog will bark.
Do you see what we've become, people? Is this a good thing? Are we heading in a good direction? That's the one question I have to just ask. Is it good, this direction we're going? And here's our problem. Our problem is we're like that British boy band, One Direction. We think everything, like people go,
I'm Harry.
Well,
You're adorable.
I don't care about your hygiene, sweetie. Let me finish my thought. Weird thing to blurt out. We can probably edit that out.
Interesting non sequitur.
Yeah. Fun honeymoon. All right. Well, here's what I'm saying. Everyone does this thing where we get back to, so women now have the right to vote. We don't have a drinking fountain for colored people and white people. You don't think that's a good thing? That is a good thing. But that's done. Now let's stop. Because we're going, like, we're doing this thing like, hey, we're progressive. Hey, we're progressive. Hey, knock it off. Like I said, it's going to be me and Gilligan, my service pelican, on the plane. You'll all be sorry when Gilligan shits on your entree and eats your fucking service dog.
Well, here's the thing. I think this is fairly obvious. Any real service dog would not bark when the light, would not be afraid of the dark. Like, if your dog is afraid of the dark, I believe that would mean that it is just a pet, not actually the dog that you need to get around or to do other things that actual service dogs do.
Yes.
I think we're supposed to draw the line when the service dog needs a service dog.
Yes. And the fact that there was no such thing as a dog on an airplane unless you're Richard Belzer a few years ago, and I'm convinced a year from now there'll be no such thing as taking a flight with a dog without a dog on it. It'll be like smoking and non-smoking. They're just going to have a kennel section for dogs on these planes. And if you're allergic or you have a problem with by the way, a lot of people are freaked out by dogs. I've met many people that have been bitten by dogs when they're little kids, and when they come to my house to do some work or something, they go, "Could you put the dog away, please?" And I go, "She's real friendly." And they go, "Could you just put it upstairs and shut the door, please? Because I've had a bad experience." Like, it's irrational, but still it's a fear.
Yeah, it's a phobia.
Every bit as real as whatever bullshit your dog is supposed to be doing for you on this flight. It may be doing it against someone else. I mean, whether it's dander or whether it's just the people that are just plain old freaked out by dogs, there are those people. There is that portion of the population.
There should be dog-free flights, and then there should be an airline, or there should be flights that are catered to your pet. I feel like that would be such a moneymaker.
Brad, you know what you need? You need a big service dog that you can ride. You know what I mean? Like a bull mastiff. Just big, like a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and you put a cowboy hat on, and you get on that dog, and you ride it, and it's like...
I would like to see a standard poodle.
And they would... No, Brad's... Oh, standard, standard. Yeah, I think you can handle a standard. I don't know, though. I feel like they'd rear back a lot. You might get thrown.
Off a poodle?
Yeah. I feel like...
You'd stick like Velcro.
That's why I went with the Ridgeback.
Okay, I see where you're going.
That's a ball grabber right there. You can't slide off the back of a Ridgeback. It's
Natural
going the wrong
turf
direction.
Built in,
Right.
You're right.
I could mosey it on into first class and then grab the collar and give it a little whoa.
Right.
Just to get to the seat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then you make these kind of weird proclamations. There's only room in this first class for one dwarf on a Rhodesian Ridgeback. And then you just, you water them by the trough. See, here it'd be it'd be the ultimate service dog, because you'd come in on the back of your dog, and then you'd run into some cunt who was holding a little thing that had the servant, and you're like, "What's your dog for?" And first off, they'd be sickened by you riding your dog. Like, they'd be like, "Oh my God," what? And you'd be like, "It's a service dog," and they'd go,
"Dogs aren't supposed to work."
Yeah, and you go, "What's your dog doing?" Well, it's for anxiety. Well, that's neither here nor there. That's less than a zero. I use my dog for transportation. That's how I got to the airport. I was going to keep him in the long-term parking. I was going to keep him over at Wally Park. They wanted too much. I'm riding him onto the plane.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the way things are going, I'm going to be able to get 2-for-1 tickets pretty soon. Because let's say I'm flying with a girl to Hawaii.
Right.
She pays for the ticket. I put on an orange fluorescent vest. I'm her service midget. And then
Brad,
I get to fly for free.
Let me fix this for you. 2 words. Baby Bjorn. Carries you right onto that plane.
Right.
No questions asked.
Facing forward, ideally.
Make sure you shave. I'm just saying. You go backwards with the Baby Bjorn, no one's going to stop her from getting on the plane.
Yeah. I just hop in like the kids from the Hangover movies. Baby Carlos.
Right. Baby Carlos.
That's my little weenus.
Yeah. Yeah. Or she wears the 10-gallon cowboy hat and you just pop out of it mid-flight. What are they going to do? Turn the flight around? I don't think so. All right. Brad, by the way, you can find bradwilliams.com or bradwilliamscomedy.com, and you can check him out and tweet him over at Funny Brad, if you like, at Funny Brad. Thanks so much, Brad Williams. We appreciate you calling in.
Thank you for having me, Adam.
Always a good time. Yeah, we're getting out of control. I told it, everything that I complain about, I pre-complain about will happen. The dogs on the plate. The airports now have places for dogs to go potty. And let me say this, too. I know this sounds stupid, but you know that thing where they go, hey, when you go into a supermarket and there's somebody sitting there just eating grapes, and someone goes, so what? You go, well, you pay for that. I mean, it gets
built into the price.
Yeah, pardon the pun. They're not going to eat it. Mm-hmm. You know, when the city does something, when a supermarket, whether it's private sector or public sector, when something happens, it's not for free. It gets absorbed by everyone else who goes to the market. So if an airport is building a dog park so that they can go number 2 on some AstroTurf inside the main terminal, 25 cents is getting added to everyone's ticket. You may not have a dog. You may never travel with your dog, but that thing ain't free.
Right.
Fucking assholes. Fucking assholes.
Have you ever traveled with Molly?
No. The only thing I do. Hey, Gary. You want to know if Ray should come in? Is that what you're asking? You know, when I do this hand move like that? Because I'm not going to say it on the air. That'd be.
You're telling him to round third and score.
That would. If I do this to your sign, that's unless you just want to go. Yes, bring Ray in to the studio, but then that would interrupt our flow. So I don't want to do that.
No, we would not want to do that.
Okay.
Gary thought he was supposed to bunt.
Okay. So yes, my dog travels with me in my car and leaves fucking fur everywhere and slobber out the window. And then every once in a while, when I stop short, she falls off the front of the chair into the well where your feet go, which is funny. What's going on there, Rezo?
I'm good.
Yeah. I had Molly, bad
You
time.
all right?
Had a bad time with Molly today, which is I said to Molly this afternoon, you want to go for a walk? And as soon as you say that to Molly, she's up, and then she'll follow you around the house. It's the cutest thing in the world. So you go, you want to go for a walk, Molly? And she'll go, yeah, do the Scooby thing. And then next thing you know, I'm just in the bathroom whizzing into this, brushing my teeth, and she literally plops down on my feet. She never follows me in the bathroom, plops down on my feet, and then I'll get up and go to the computer and check something, and she'll plop down on my feet again. And so wherever you go, she'll just plop down at your feet, except for then the phone rang, and it was like kind of important phone call. I ended up talking to someone for about 45 minutes on the phone, in which case poor Molly just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You promised. And in dog years, that's like 9 hours.
Have you ever peed on Molly?
No.
Don't lie.
Right. I don't pee. Why would I pee on something that sleeps in the bed with me?
Because you're going to the bathroom, right?
Right.
If her head's right there.
Oh, you mean just to wake her up?
Yeah.
Keep her honest? It's tempting. I do like peeing on things. You know, if I'm outside
so
peeing.
that's a yes.
No. The fucking dog sleeps in my bed, Ray.
Yeah, at the feet. So what?
First off, Lynette would
Coin
detect
toss.
whiz on the dog's head. Dog's already suffered enough hardship with the.
I peed on Molly's good ear.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's probably why it needed to be removed. All right, there, Ray Zoe. What's going on with you?
Home improvement
Just a second.
straight from the ace man's lips to those in need. They cover it all, A to Z, roof to basement and in between. Raise on the ladder.
It's funny that Leno's band played this when I came out on stage.
It's kind of awesome in a weird way.
Awesome, yeah.
By the way, this segment is sponsored by MaximaStyle.com, the best selection for energy-efficient LED bulbs like the ones we have here. And check us out. We all look really good.
Damn, we do.
Yeah, we do.
All right, Ray, see a question you like up there?
Nope. First, I have to say MaxXIMA style.com.
Now.
What a pro.
Bugs keep coming through his screens. Old windows. Interesting. Door between kitchen and garage won't close. I like door-related questions.
I know you do.
Justin?
Oh, I guess you're taking that one.
Fuck yeah. Sacramento?
You know it.
26 years of age?
Yeah.
Hold on, Justin. Do you own your own house?
Yeah, I just bought it.
Oh, my God. It's like you're still in high school and you got a house.
You're telling me, man. It's unreal.
Justin, what did your wife put down on it?
Please.
FHA, man. You only got to put down 3.5%.
Ray still
What's
live in an
that mean?
apartment. He's almost 50. Still live in an apartment.
I'm gonna be 50 in 29 days.
Justin, what if you had a kid and he was going to be 50 and he still lived in an apartment?
Name him Ray. What's wrong with that?
So the
I'll
door.
probably run one of my extra houses by then.
Yeah, yeah. You'll have a fleet of houses
Is
by
that
then.
true? You only have to put down 3.5%?
No.
I'm just waiting for the
loan.
apocalypse.
A Fair Housing Act loan.
Oh.
It's a longer process, but you only have to put down much smaller percentage.
Door between the kitchen and the garage won't close.
Move, Justin. Move now.
Oh, shut up.
Immediately.
Top of the door hinge is almost to the point of splitting the wood. All right. So where's it rubbing? At the bottom?
No, okay. So I went ahead and took the top hinge plate out because they have the door notched out so that hinge would sit flush with the door, and same with the door jamb. But they fucked up the notch on.
Hold on.
Wait, the mortise?
It's called a mortise.
Okay, yeah, you guys know the terms, man.
Okay.
I don't, so.
All right, your name's Justin.
Mm-hmm.
His name's Mortis.
Mortis sounds like a nice Jewish boy your mama would have wanted.
I'd marry him.
So what's wrong with Mortis?
What? He's
Mom, he's so boring. But
He's not circumcised.
His father's a
chess.
dentist. Come on. He's just solid. He comes from a good family. All right. Sorry. We're doing Yentl. What's going on?
Mortis?
Mortis?
Yeah, mortise.
That's your turn.
So I just pulled it out, but that hinge, the mortise is not where it needs to be on the door jamb side. So like it sits flush on the top part, but on the bottom part, the hinge is sticking out over the mortise.
Oh, okay.
And the door just doesn't close right. So
All right.
can I just get with a chisel and
Yes.
kind of, that's the way to do it?
Well, here's what you would do. All right.
First of all, you got to get square.
Okay. But if somebody wants to mortise out something, the hinge is not popped in. It's popped out. It's hanging out. Surface mount. Sitting on top of the jamb.
It's not flush.
Yeah, don't get a chisel and just whack it because it's hard to go against the grain, cross grain with the chisel. Get a real sharp chisel. You can sharpen chisels, by the way.
Or a router.
He's going to fuck it up a router. He doesn't have a router. He can't handle a router. Router's too much tool for him.
The mortise is the little thing that the door
The
piece
hinge,
fixed, the
hinge
door
snaps.
gina.
The door gina that it snaps into. Justin, do you own a router?
I don't. My dad.
Okay.
His dad does.
Ugh. Well, my dad has a
His
small
dad's
collection
also
of
buddies
routers.
with Edward James Olmos with the worst acne in the world.
Huh? Nice time. All right, Ray. Just quiet down there.
Hold on, I got more written down here.
All right. Here's the deal.
Hold on.
You take a utility knife and you cut around that hinge. Cut it in, cross it. Cut it real good, and then
also
you pull
tamp it with a hammer,
Would you let me
Ace.
fucking finish here for a second, Ray? Cut it real good around the hinge. You don't have to tamp it with a hammer. What do you want to tamp with the hammer?
Because you want to get deep enough to bury that hinge.
I say once you cut it, once you score it real good, then you can pop the hinge off and use a sharp chisel and clean it up at that point.
All right, no argument.
Okay. All right.
We'll argue later.
Means I'm right. All right, you got a call up there you like? What do you like?
I like Wisconsin, just because I like Wisconsin.
All right, does that have a number or a name next
That
to
has
it?
line 4.
All right, let's go to line 1.
Willie. And the good
Corey,
name.
27. Oh, fuck. That's just backfired on me.
Yeah! How's that going?
All right, Willie. I tried.
Hey, Ace Man and Ray, get it on.
Calling from Wisconsin, 23. Now, there's no way you own a home at 23.
No, I do not. I just graduated college.
All right.
Willie, if you were here, I'd
Crappy
kiss you.
apartment.
Go Badgers.
Yeah, go Badgers.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
so like the description said, I got a problem with a window in my apartment, and I have a cheap-ass landlord that won't pay for it. But I'm getting bugs that are getting through the screens and through like the sides of the windows, and they're just infesting my place. I'm wondering if there's a way to seal them up without, I don't know, putting in a new window. 'Cause like I said, my landlord is just too cheap to do that.
I always like the look of foil on a window. It's classy. It says to the world we're shooting porn, but not snuff porn.
That's right. So mind your own business.
Well, getting a screen that fits, and screens they'll make for you, they're pretty easy. I mean, you measure the ID, the inner dimension of the window, and then you go down to the whatever store, and they'll make them for you. Now, keep in mind, what they're going to make for you is going to be square, and where you're going to put it is going to be a little out of plumb, a little out of square. And so even if the dimensions, and everyone has to remember this, you take the dimensions of something and you go, all right, it's 32 inches at the top and 32 inches at the bottom, and it's 46 inches high. But if what you try to put into that space is exactly square and the thing's a little bit racked, it ain't going to fit.
It's not working.
So feel free to deduct, good solid eighth from,
around everything.
Around everything.
And by the way, where are the bugs
in.
coming in from? Do you know where? I mean, can you
Where?
see them? Yeah. Because they might be getting
well,
in from God knows
They
where.
fill up. They get through the screen, and then they're stuck in between like two panes of window glass, and then they get around the sides of the windows too.
I just want to hear this guy talk because that accent's just killing me. Keep going.
Yeah.
Accent, what?
All right. And what'd you study in college, Willie?
I went to school for construction management.
Ooh.
Is there such a thing?
Well, at my school there was.
Uh-huh. So you're going to work in the field?
Yes, I do. I'm a project manager for a construction company.
Wait a minute. You can't figure this one out?
Well,
How's that
this is
going?
Something I didn't
Did you
study.
fail?
Be great for the guy building a commercial skyscraper for right now. Can't figure out the screen.
Can't figure out this fucking screen.
No, a pipeline
I got the
contractor,
28
that's
story.
Oh,
what
you're
I
doing
do.
a pipeline.
Yep, I work for a pipeline company.
I like that.
That means he smokes bass.
What goes on? More good stuff, right? What goes on? Do you bury it? Is it above ground? Some of it buried?
Both. We do something called horizontal directional drilling, where we'll take like a 36-inch or larger giant auger and drill into the ground and then shove a pipe through there for miles.
Caisson, baby.
Benches and then lay a pipe down there too.
Uh-huh. I bet
What are they drilling for, Ace?
I don't
Is it
know.
natural gas? What are you doing? Like fracking?
He's laying the...
Natural gas. Big one right now. We're actually doing the Keystone pipeline, so we see a lot of protesters too. The pipeline that's going from Texas to Canada.
Right.
All right, so you guys are doing tons of fracking and doing all that kind of stuff and sending it up north.
Here's what I don't understand about any of this, like Keystone Pipeline, stuff like that. I understand that everyone wants cars that run off of good vibes, but we don't really have that technology. Like the solar panel on the roof of your car is just not going to run your car. So instead, we're going to just send over bundles of money to the worst people on the planet. We are going to take people that think it'd be a good idea to throw acid in the face of girls because they caught them reading Mark Twain and fucking just make them rich beyond anyone's wildest imagination. And then when somebody says, well, look, we got a lot of reserves in the shale here on the West Coast, or we can do a Keystone pipeline, everyone goes, not so fast. We got to bundle up some more money and send it to the worst place on the planet. And it's like, I understand conceptually what you're talking about. I'd like solar farms and wind farms and all that kind of stuff, but we're a good period of time away from that. I mean, we made an announcement somewhere in Jimmy Carter in 1972. We need to be oil and energy independent inside of 10 years. So, it's like by 1980, independence from oil. Well, Exxon Valdez and all the other disasters that took place when the stuff, when the tanker ships, went aground and spilled all the oil all over the coastline and all that stuff. Like that notion, I mean, in terms of ideas in 100 years or 200 years, Berlin Wall versus sending the tanker ships to the worst place on the planet to give the worst people on the planet a whole fuckload of money so that they could get Taylor Swift to do like private concerts for their 9-year-olds. On just the idea spectrum, when we're sitting on top of a ton of fucking energy, but what do you think is going to be looked further down on? I mean,
coin flip.
Coin toss? Jesus fucking Christ. Let's build a fucking pipeline. We'll have a bunch of energy, and we'll put a bunch of people to work.
Do you think we will stop being dependent on the worst people in the world in our lifetimes? I doubt it.
I think
Not
it's
as long as Adam and I are friends.
I think it's two things. I think first off, whoever whatever companies bring it from here to there and have the deals with them, not on their fucking watch.
Right.
Like, not as long as they have lobbyists that are going to make sure this shit doesn't happen, and not as long as there's, a new generation of retards like Martin Sheen who are going to chain themselves to bulldozers. Thanks, Marty. Thanks. We have no nuclear energy, but instead we have people dying in coal mines and sulfur being belched up into the fucking atmosphere because you chained yourself to a fucking bulldozer in 1976, you fucking hero. Thanks, asswipe. Anyway, about the screen.
Figure it out.
Hey, Willie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep going, and when those Sierra Club guys come around, you tell them to take a hike to hell, and you tell them I said so.
I'll tell them that.
All right, buddy. Good
All right.
times.
My old apartment didn't have any screens, so it was constantly bugs. Are landlords supposed to provide screens?
Read your lease.
It's that kind of thing. Like, if you have rent control, they provide nothing.
I didn't have that.
So if you're paying, like, market value, then they should do stuff. What I like, which they have, somebody tweeted me this, and they're right, and it doesn't work all the time, but it's like what stores have is that, like, air blade.
Yeah.
Okay, because, all right, you're a supermarket or department store or whatever, and you got the doors coming open and close all the time, right?
Any commercial food service has to have.
Yeah, and so why isn't your supermarket filled with flies?
Oh, did they blow them out?
They blow them out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Right when you open the door, that.
Yeah.
That's to keep
That's
bugs
the
out?
air blade.
I wonder if
Can people get that in their houses and apartments?
that's why Brad Williams.
Marilyn Monroe got it.
Brad
Blow
Williams
up on you. And it's
Brad,
nice.
Shut up, Ray, with your horrible jokes.
Huh?
That's why Brad Williams can't get into the Safeway. Thank you.
Oh, that was a good one.
It's worth waiting for.
And caller number. Let's take another caller.
Right. I'm going to check when the next closed mic night is over at the Improv to get
It's
over
funny.
there.
That's funny stuff, too. Are you done with the comedy?
So, Ray, about
This
noonish
is good.
Monday?
Fuck
Good.
off.
All right.
I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Take another call.
All right, hold on a second.
No.
I'm wondering if there's one fly that's training, like a wedge buster. You know what I mean? Like one fly where they're like, you can fucking do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. You get a good head of steam. Be a good children's book. You get a fucking good head of steam. You bust through that air knife, and then we'll be behind you. It's like bump draft.
That's right.
You can bust through it. If you can get it, like, you got to get the horse fly, Clydesdale fly. You got to get him beefed up. Come on, eat more of that dog shit. Let's go.
Training montage for the fly.
The tiny fly blowing a tiny whistle.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm not going to lie to you. We're not all going to make it.
Doing a weird log roll thing on a piece of shit in the sewer. Training. That's their treadmill.
Imagine the vignette.
Oh,
When
the great vignette.
The fly beefs up.
Right. And then he gets then he drops down. He's got to drop down and just get that fucking hard move so he can bust through that invisible hymen to get into the Safeway. And then once he cracks it, they can all follow it in. Mm-hmm.
It's like an old professor fly with a stopwatch.
That's
like
right.
training him. Come on, you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Somebody was telling me those big crane flies can't get through that stuff too. They don't have enough juice.
They're all wispy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, Ray, we good? Want to take one more?
Yeah, one more.
Basement is open stairway. Mm-hmm. Make it quieter. All right, let's talk to line 2. Hey, Corey.
Oh, my God. Hey, man, what's going on?
What's going on, Corey? 27 Baltimore. Do you own your own home?
Oh, and for the purposes of this conversation, absolutely.
All right.
Fucking liar.
Such a winner.
You know, born with a house, born into my own house. It's unbelievable.
I love that.
But,
oh, hold on a second. You guys tell me what etiquette is. I won't throw the guy's name out there because Ray knows him not well. But I'm getting my hair cut the other day, and I sit next to this dude, and we're just sort of having a little chat, and he goes, I think you know my sister. I think you went to high school with my sister. And he throws the sister's name out, Wendy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know her. Yeah, how's she doing? Oh, she lives up Portland or something. Oh, good, doing good. Fantastic. How about you? What are you up to? He says, well, so I got a house over there, Studio City. I said, oh, good for you. He said, yeah. I said, well, where is it? Said, oh, it's the same house. I said, oh, from when high school and stuff, when I used to come by? Yeah, still living there. And it's like, but the guy's 47. And so it's like, hey, the parents moved to Palm Springs or whatever, and I had that thing where it's like, it went from, you got your own place in Studio City to,
there's another weird one where, like, hey, I'm taking care of my parents now. Right. But I never really moved out.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I wasn't sure what my reaction should be on that one.
My elderly neighbor across the street just passed away, and he was 80-something. He lived in the house his parents had lived in. So in West LA since probably the early part of last century.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's kind of, at a certain point, it's honorable, I think.
It's
no longer
point.
sad.
It sounds like a European thing.
It may have been. They've been immigrants.
I'm laughing because my mom lives in her mom's flop house. It's kind of it's a little lateral move from living in the same house. She bought a piece of shit for $9,000 to rent out to people, but this is the problem. If you fuck with your daughter, then she's going to flop in your rental property for the rest of your natural life, and that's what happened. Corey, the hell were we? Did I put him on hold? All right. Corey.
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Basement, open stairway.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where you're keeping your parents?
Under those stairs? Is it creaky?
No, it's not creaky. It's carpeted.
Uh-huh. And your question is what?
Basically, I've just been putting up with my roommates hearing everything they're doing in the morning. I work a shift work, so every week I have a different rotation. So I can never get any sleep because all I hear is pitter-patter and people talking. So I'm trying to figure out a way, if there's any way to hang a sheet or do anything I can do, really, just to make it quieter.
Well, but make what quieter? What's that?
Do you live in the basement?
Yeah, so I live in a townhouse, and I have two other roommates, and I have the basement to myself, and it's just an open-air staircase, so when anyone's walking by, if they're talking on their phone or anything, I can hear, every word of their conversation. And I don't know, I'm just trying to cover it up, maybe put a buffer there so sound doesn't get down.
All right. Forget about this. We're not going to bring the mountain to Muhammad here. You can't block out the world. You got to block out your ears. You got to get yourself in some industrial strength ear protection. I molded my own. I did it. They have a kit.
Really?
It's not bad.
Do you cast it in your head?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's just like what I'm doing with my new independent film.
Huh?
Got Meryl Streep playing the lead. Cast it in my head.
Who's playing you?
Oh man,
I'll do it.
It's that kid from The Hangover, the good-looking one.
No,
Bradley
Clooney,
Cooper.
man. Come on, it's
Bradley
Clooney.
Cooper's playing me.
Oh.
No, I want a younger one. I want me to be younger. So Corey, here's what you do: you go online, and I think for like $12 or $13, everyone should do this. You get this earplug stuff, and it's a 2-part system. Now, there's an expensive version where you make a mold, you send it into a lab, and they send you back the impressions. But there's a cheaper one, which I never understood. I did both for racing because I have a couple cars that are pretty loud. But you take this stuff, and it's like part A and part B. It's like epoxy. It's resin and catalyst. And once you start mixing it together, it will do nothing. It will feel like taffy on a hot day, A and B, for 2,000 years. But if you put it together, you have 9 minutes to work with it before it turns into a Super Bowl. And what you do is you do it up, and it just becomes like, it's like silly putty, and you mash it into your ears. You just fucking mash it.
With your fingers, or is there an applicator?
No, you just
You
literally
roll
use
it
your
into
finger.
a ball and you smash it.
I mean,
with
you
your
make
finger.
it into two sides. Like, let's say you took 3-4 pieces of chewing gum, chewed up, made into a ball, shove it in your ears. I made a butt plug out of what I had left over. Because why not? I'm sitting there with the material.
Duh. That was a gimme.
How many orifices do I have to fill? Matt helped out on that one.
9.
Yeah. Just a quick safety tip. If you're going the butt plug route, go ahead and
shave.
Put a string in there first so you can get it out. I had a little difficulty. Yeah.
Wait, so it worked really well? Which one worked better? The one you sent away for, or the one A and B you did yourself?
The one I sent away for was like $150. It had to go to some lab in Texas, and it worked pretty good. This one works pretty good too. So you make the mold, and then you leave it in your ear for 8 minutes, and then it hardens, and then you pop it out, and then you have some custom-made industrial. I mean, it's like, you remember when we played football, when you have a mouthpiece and you just put it in, it's not for your mouth. You heat it up, you put it in your mouth, you bite down on it. Now it's made for you. And that's what these earplugs are. So do that, get a nice eye shade, and have fun sawing the logs.
Done and done.
Hopefully that
All right.
works.
I told I had a little condescending conversation with Matt the Porcelain Punisher.
What?
Uh-oh.
I had the 2 blue ear things, and I put them in my ears, and then I pulled them out. And I said, now I'm going to write an R on the right side, so I know which one is which. What do you think I'm going to write on the left side? And he said, an L. And I said, no, nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Because why would you? That'll be the one that's not the right side. I don't have a third ear. As long as I don't get the butt plug mixed up, I'll be fine.
But they all look
Be on
alike.
that.
That's right. All right. Thank you so much for your home improvement phone calls. Ray, you're like tweeting and stuff now, right?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Podcast Ace on the House, by the way, with
Yeah, I do.
Mr. Ray. Everyone loves that show. Saturday on iTunes, and you can get it at the Adam Carolla app and aceonthehouse.com, or as my dad would call it, Ace on the Roof. And because why would he get anything right?
Technically right.
That's true. All right. Little outro.
It's Ace on the House.
Hey, thanks to MaximusStyle.com. Use the code Adam, ADAM, for additional savings, and thank you for listening.
All right. What we should do is take a quick break. Eli Roth is out there. Haven't spoke to him in a little while. Very good guy. Excited about that. And, oh, by the way, Boom. Do we have the Boom ringtone? Do we? It's available. Let's hear it.
Whoa. Boom.
That's
that?
good. I
That
like
is a
that.
great alert for any text that comes through.
Boom.
You can search Porcelain Punisher in the iTunes ringtone store. So,
Boom.
you just punch in Porcelain Punisher. All right. Go to iTunes. Punch in Porcelain Punisher.
Boom.
And there you go. Pick up that ringtone.
I kind of like that.
I like it too. All right, quick break. Back with Eli Roth next.
Boom.
Eli Roth in studio. Good to see you as usual, Eli.
Pleasure as always. Glad to be back.
Eli, probably most noted for Hostel. Well, actually, The Bear Jew, which Inglourious Bastards. I love that movie,
Thanks,
by the
man.
way. I just love that goddamn movie.
It was like the Jewish wet dream to go to Germany and shoot Hitler and bash Nazis with a baseball bat. It was weird how much I'd spent a part of my life actually fantasizing about doing those things and to get them, act them out. And what I found was the German actors had the same fantasy. Like when you were bashing the guy's head in, that actor was like, yeah, we get to kill these guys. And even the guys playing Goebbels or Hitler were like, they had the fantasy, like having grown up with this, of just killing them. So it was this weirdly joyous experience for everyone when we were filming the most violent scenes.
Well, it did. I mean, I feel like it's what sane Americans should feel about, like, the Grand Wizard of the Klan and stuff like that. Like, come on, you're fucking things up for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Germany.
Right, like you're trying to be quietly racist.
I'm
and they're so overt.
I'm bigoted.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm set in my ways.
Yes.
I'm set in my ways.
Right.
That's different.
And they're fucking it up for you.
Yeah, I'm barely bigoted. And all of a sudden we're getting painted as a racist.
You're old school.
I'm old school. Set in my ways. Aftershock is the name of the new movie. It is out May 10th. And again, Hostel, well, what can you say? Cost $4 million to make and made over $150 million to date.
It did well. It did really
Jesus
well.
Christ.
It was kind of a shock because at the time there hadn't really been that level of violence in movies. But at the time it was sort of the Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld era of American imperialism, and you know I like to make movies about stuff that I find very disturbing, and certainly Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld at the time I found very freaky.
And you did this one on your own, like this
Independent.
This is like you. I have an idea. I'm going to write it. I'm going to produce it. I'm going to direct
Very
it.
similar to. By the way, I again want to compliment you on your performance in The Hammer. The Hammer. If
Wow.
people have not seen that movie, obviously you know that Adam can box, and you know that he's funny. But your dramatic acting in that movie was incredible. It was
Wow.
such an enjoyable experience to see that movie. And I feel like if that movie came out now, or had like a re-release now with VOD and iTunes, there's a whole new way to give indie movies a fighting chance against the Iron Man 3s, which is exactly how we're releasing Aftershock, which is a low-budget movie that we shot independently in Chile, but it'll come out in 100 theaters, but also it'll be on your Time Warner cable. It'll be on iTunes. It's everywhere. Basically, you can just buy the movie and watch it in your house or see it in the theaters. But these movies like Bachelorette and Arbitrage, there are a lot of movies that are getting massive audiences because people have it right there in their homes.
Yeah, well, a dollar short and a day late as per usual. But don't worry, I'll do another movie one of these days. I'm actually going to go shoot a little Kickstarter type video with the great Bryan Cranston tomorrow. So
those
we can look
kicks.
forward
By the
to
way,
that.
how about what's his name? Zach Braff just raised
Unbelievable.
$2 million. No, this new Kickstarter thing is changing everything. I've actually thought about funding movies this way because you don't have to pay back any investors. And then basically whatever the release plan is, like you own the movie 100% and you have nothing to lose. You don't have to pay anybody back.
Well, what was the budget for this one?
Aftershock we did for around $2 million, and I got the money from some doctors in Buffalo. Now, they put up the money, but then what I do is I pre-sell different territories. Like we pre-sell England for $500,000, and you pre-sell Germany for $200,000. And they buy it on my name and on the script and on the premise, and I say, okay, it's a horror thriller, it's earthquake. Sometimes you have to shoot a little teaser. And sometimes territories will wait, and then we'll cut like a sizzle reel of like 5 or 10 minutes. And they'll go, okay, here's $400,000, and that's what we did. And basically, you pay for the movie so that you hold back the U.S. The movie's completely paid for, and then we made a deal with Dimension to release the film this way.
I saw, and you shot how many days? How long was this
It was
shoot?
40 days. But what's cool now is that this is my friend Nicolas Lopez, who he lived through the earthquake in Chile. I remember we're talking about how can we shoot a movie in Chile. He's been shooting a lot of films there, and he's like, dude, I shot my last feature on a Canon 7D, and I put it in theaters, and nobody knew that I shot it on a Canon. People thought I shot it on 35 millimeter film, and I'm like, there's no fucking way you can do that, dude. And I went down there and we did tests, and he's like, put a really nice lens on a 7D or a 5D, and if you light it right, it looks like 35 millimeter. So we shot the entire movie on SLR cameras.
Well, not only for those who are interested, it's not only the film, obviously it's the processing, but the editing and all the stuff. It's just so much faster. I mean, you can see what you're shooting, you can play it back, you can edit as you go.
The camera literally cost $2,500, which you couldn't even do 2 years ago. And the software and the way you can edit it now on your computer, and they're giving away DaVinci color correction, which used to be like so expensive. They give the software for free. So you can now, if you want to buy the hardware, that's how they make their money. So things like Avid, Final Cut, the sound mixing, all that stuff that used to be so expensive is so cheap now. And we're just basically putting a lot of stuff into building the sets and the production value. But it's sort of like what it used to cost to make an independent film. The cost has come down. It's incredible now.
Well, I have mixed feelings about this. It's the same way I feel about, like, podcasting. Like, anybody can have their own radio station now, and anyone can shoot their own film, and anyone can cut their own CD or make their own music or record their own music or whatever. And that's great if you're Eli Roth, but it's not great if you suck like 99% of people do at their attempts at art. So it's going to mean a flood of shit, too, right?
But that's the history. But it's also exciting because it makes everyone step their game up. It's sometimes in that flood of shit, you get like one diamond that floats out.
One brilliant turd.
Mostly dust rise to the top, right?
Well, cream. I mean, they say that like cream rises to the top. But the truth is, if you think about it, think of how long the electric guitar has been around. But then comes John Lennon or Jimi Hendrix or Eric, one of these people that understands, or Kurt Cobain that just does it in a completely different way. I think it's great. I mean, it used to be, I think we're getting a lot better movies. I mean, when I saw an independent movie years ago, it was so expensive to get the film and the cameras. A lot of the movies just sucked.
Yeah.
There were these self-important pieces of shit. And now the fact that we can take our cameras, like when we shot the earthquake sequence, we were really smashing things. We took the same cameras that we're using in this room now, like the Canons like that, and we put them on a remote control helicopter, and we flew it through the city. And suddenly you put it through a little stabilizing software. It looks like Spider-Man level shots. So it's exciting. I think it's really cool.
The Chile, I don't know what it was over there, 7 point whatever, or maybe more, but
it's 8.8.
That's pretty massive.
They got beat by Japan. It was like 8.8, and then I think Japan was 8.9. But yeah, it was crazy.
And also, like I always tell people, because I used to do earthquake rehab, unreinforced concrete, bad news in earthquake country. You need a bunch of plywood and a bunch of 2x4s. You'll be fine.
Well, You know, the thing with the earthquake was it hit during the summer at 3:30 in the morning, and a lot of people were in the clubs, so they were just like out. And they go all night in Chile. They go to like 6 in the morning. It's very modern. It actually looks very similar to L.A. in Santiago. But what happened was everyone, the clubs just started crashing down. There's a cast member. Her friend got both his hands cut off, and then everyone was looking for the hands, but then they were worried the club was going to collapse, and they found one, and then someone took one. Crazy. And then the
someone took one?
Yeah, they put it in a bag, and then the bag got taken. They couldn't find the hand.
Wow.
And then you couldn't call the police. You couldn't call the fire. The cell phones went out. And my friend Nicholas, who I wrote it with, he picked up his landline to call his mother and realized he didn't know his own mother's phone number because it was all on his cell phone.
Right.
Everything's in the iPhone. Then the prisons broke open.
Ooh.
And so prisoners were getting out. And then what happened was the tsunami warnings came in. The tsunami sirens went off. So everyone started fucking freaking out and running for the hills. And Chile and Japan communicate to see, they're on like the same, I guess, line of whether tsunami's going to hit. And Japan's like, it doesn't look like it's going to hit. And then 4 hours at like 5 in the morning, when people went back to their beds and went to sleep, like tsunami came and wiped out 2,000 people. So the stories that he told me of what happened that night, we're like, okay, let's not make the Oscar version of this. Let's do this like as, kind of an exciting genre thriller. But the stories of what he told me were fucking incredible. And the club where we filmed the earthquake, like where the ceiling collapsing and speakers falling, he went through the security camera footage, and we basically recreated what he saw. Like there was one guy that was the speakers fell and just crushed him to death because people were running for the exits.
Right.
They were climbing over the speakers and crushed the guy, but then they got crushed in the doorway. It was, and everyone was drunk, and it was the last weekend of summer, so everyone's in like high heels and skirts, and it was crazy filming it.
And what were the chicks wearing?
The chicks were wearing thongs, and they looked really hot in blood.
Did you see the movie Earthquake?
I love Earthquake, of course.
I love Earthquake too. You got to watch that movie.
I've never seen Earthquake.
It's Irwin Allen, who I guess did Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah, all the great disasters.
Towering Inferno.
Poseidon Adventure was a really good movie.
It was always the same things. Like somewhere around Act 1, the engineer would come in, or the architect, and we'd go, those girders need to be supported. And they'd go, please, we're saving money here. Now get out of here.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, I guess we know what's going to happen.
But he also would, what the genius of Irwin Allen is he would get basically every great actor. It was the 70s, and he would get every Academy Award-winning actor from 1936. And
right.
It'd be like Henry Fonda, Tyrone Power, John Gielgud, Joan Fontaine. They'd be
right.
like, what? But
Agnes Moorehead.
They're like 78 years old in these movies. And then the bottom of the poster would have like 25
pictures.
Faces of all these Oscar winners. So people were like, oh, this must be good. All these people are in it. For one scene, they get killed.
Fine. It was sort of, it's sort of like what The Love Boat did later on. They went literally, let's find washed up actors, literally washed up, and we'll throw them on our boat.
Throw them on our boat.
And it was this crazy, cavalcade of stars. Joan Blondell, like people your parents had heard of, but you've never heard of.
Be like, what's a good movie? Joan Blondell's in it. Exactly.
You find the poster of Towering Inferno because that one had Steve McQueen, OJ was in that bad boy too, but then it'd be like Red Buttons or it'd be like
Mickey Rooney,
crazy.
Was an airport like that too? Dean Martin was an airport.
Fred Astaire.
Yeah,
it would be. And it's like, so you get this like crazy, I've heard of him, know her, wanted to fuck her when I was in junior high. Like it was just like a nonstop. Yeah. And then you just put them all in a building that caught on fire.
And they just light them on fire. And then we actually wanted to do Irwin Allen style.
Paul Newman.
Yeah. We wanted to do Irwin Allen style. What they did back then was they really destroyed shit. And that's one of the nice things about shooting in Chile is Nicholas and I, we want to start what we call
things.
You got it. We wanted to call it Chilewood, where it's like there's sort of the rules are so much more lax about safety that we could. I remember we were shooting the club scene. We were dropping a huge, like 20-foot. You would have loved the construction of it. Piece of plaster on the floor, and so we had all these like girls in mini skirts and heels running across, and we're rehearsing it. And I said to Nico, the director, I was like, look at all, I didn't know there were so many stunt girls. He's like, gringo stunt girls. Right. And literally, they were just extras.
Did you say drunk, my friend?
And there were certain things like, a lot of Santiago is still destroyed from the earthquake. So there's a scene where I'm in the cemetery and a huge piece of concrete falls on me and I'm like trapped and they can't move, what to do. And I looked over and there were all these skeletons and broken open tombs. And I was like, man, the art department's amazing. They like have put all these skeletons, and he's like, dude, they just unlocked this for us. This has been closed since the earthquake. I'm like, what?
Wow.
He's like, we didn't dress anything We literally put
stuff just like popped open and fell apart and stuff.
We walked through the graveyards and like the whole thing shook. And they don't bury them in the ground; they stack them upward, like filing cabinet system, like Raiders of the Lost Ark
Closer
stuff.
to God.
So they all broke open. So they're just bones and cracked tombs, and the aftershocks. They couldn't even repair it, so they closed it down. We're like, "Can you open it for us and let us shoot there?" And they did, which was crazy.
What is? Find me, by the way, Earthquake, because find me some more real celebrities in there. Tarantino, insane, not in a bad way, but just a crazy dude.
Quentin, there's definitely the like interview Quentin persona which like any of us, I mean, I guess after you've done it for a while, you're sort of relaxed, but there's the I'm excited talking about movies Quentin, but Quentin's a very normal dude. I mean, he's brilliant. Like there's certain people that you meet and you're like, that guy's a genius at comedy, that person's a genius at this. Quentin, like when you actually get in a conversation with him and you start talking about his knowledge of history, like even the card game in Inglourious Basterds, Polo Negri and Female Sergeant Beethoven, he was like, well, yeah, actually Polo Negri went undercover and Frau von Hammersmark is a nod to her character. Like his knowledge of American history, world history, and European history is truly astounding. And that's all he does is he sits and reads books. I mean, people think he's just like a nerd watching movies, but that guy sits and reads more than anyone I know, and he just absorbs it all. Like he has he has a mind like a novelist.
I love the fact that he is so confident in his writing and his performers that he lets those scenes just breathe. And if there was anybody who had any creative say over him, they would have been, you take that scene with the dairy farmer. It's coming in at 21 minutes. I need that thing at about 7 to 9 minutes. We need to start whacking.
Quentin, these guys play cards forever.
Yeah, like but what people don't realize is there's this part of life where we all want to just hustle right past the foreplay. Like that's what you want to do. You want to we want to right into fucking and sucking. But the fucking and sucking is a lot better when there's some heavy petting going on. When that
as
build
much
up,
as we don't want to admit it.
We don't want to admit it, and we want to just blow past it, pardon the pun. But Tarantino realizes the longer those two just sit in that farmhouse and share a pipe and some milk, the more tension. And so by the time it comes to the scene where you see the people under the floorboards and that, that pussy is so wet at that point it's going to explode.
Well, I
should put that on a post.
That's an excellent analogy, and Quentin would love that analogy, by the way. He would perfectly love to hear that. It's like the difference in most movies, I guess, if you're going to do it in some sort of game, it's like watching someone play pinball. It's like, you go to the movies, it's like ding, 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 explosion. And Quentin's like watching a master chess player. Yes. And they do one move, and then what are they going to do? And it's the building up, and what's great about him, Quentin, I remember when he wrote Bastards by hand, and it was coming off of Death Proof. And instead of making a movie that was safe, like a James Bond movie or anything he could have done, he was like, no, I'm going to do it 2/3 in another language in 5 chapters and kill it. Like, it's just his own thing in his own head. He said, I'm going to write it by hand, and I'm going to take my typewriter. He can't really type. He's like, I'm going to take my typewriter from Pulp Fiction, where you still need the ribbon. Like, he bought up all the old ribbon because you can't find the old Smith Corona ribbon anymore. I'm going to fucking type this script. It's 200 pages. I'm going to type every single word of it. And I'm going to force myself, if this ain't fucking Shakespeare, I'm taking it out. And somehow the fact that it took him so long to write the word the, he's like, this better matter. And so when he's writing it, he's got his understanding. And that's what's so, like, I remember when he read me those scenes. Like, he invited me to his house to have dinner, and he's like, hey, I got the first 20 pages of Bastards. And I read that farmhouse scene, and I was like, if this was performed on a stage, you'd have a Pulitzer Prize in your hand. Like that whole analogy with the rat.
Right.
It's just like, would you give a rat a saucer of milk? Like, it's like, it's so good.
It's so engaging.
It's so engaging. And then he said he's not making the movie unless he found Londa. And then he found Christoph Waltz.
That guy came in here to do the podcast, and I said, you're getting an Oscar. And he's such a sweet, you probably know him well.
The best.
The gentle, he's like, you do, when you meet Christoph Waltz, you go, oh, this is why Europeans are better than we are. To a certain extent, like, you realize if that guy was from Jersey, he'd be talking about himself in the third person and introducing you to his lady friends and wearing a big fucking Italian horn necklace or something. He's like the just gentle, congenial, sweet guy.
And during the making of the movie, he's not reading any. He's like only reading the script. He's not watching movies. He's not reading books. He's not like. I mean, he's older, but it's also at. For this guy, imagine you're in your 50s and you had gone to New York in your 20s and it didn't work out, and now you're working consistently, but just doing kind of like average German TV stuff, doing the best you can, and then you get this part, and suddenly you have an Oscar and 2 Oscars in a row, and then you see him in Django, and you're like, he's so good and so appreciative.
That's why I think, and I tell people all the time, I really think it's even more about the material than it is about the actor. If Quentin Tarantino is never born, Christoph Waltz is doing, local whatever in Strudeldorf, and, he's doing the equivalent to Small Wonder in Strudeldorf or Make Room for Daddy or some bullshit, and he's doing the best he can do with the material that's being provided to him, but the material's being written by hack, and he's only going to be able to
feel like
be so good.
Strudeldorf's Small Wonder would actually be a show that I would
definitely
loved.
watch. I would definitely watch the making of Strudeldorf and Small Wonder.
Christoph, that material may play in Strudeldorf, but it'll never play in Berlin.
That's right.
Maybe like a small Hitler, robot. I would watch a show about.
So then the guy who is a master baker, Christoph Waltz, all of a sudden gets the kitchen and the ingredients.
And
now look the fuck out, world.
And that's what Quentin said. Quentin's like, this is actually the best part I've written with probably the best actor I've ever worked with. And Quentin's at a point in his career where he's like, this is what my dialogue is. It's so funny to think back now that there was this whole thing he had to shake of Quentin just steals from other movies. And you're like, no, he doesn't. Like, he's a genius. People go, no, he stole this line from this movie. And this. Like, that's what the other guys that worked at the video store would all kind of say around interviews. And it's like it's ridiculous to think of that now. And I watched it just come out of his brain to his paper, and it's really like he's truly a genius.
Yeah, he is essentially competing with himself when it comes to making movies.
There's no writer at his level. Like, you watch the stuff that's in Django and that scene with phrenology and those dinner scenes. It's not even about the music or being cool. Like, people are watching this going, there just isn't anyone of this. Like, there just isn't anyone writing at that level.
There's nothing. The writing at its worst is like when now you take like. Fast and Furious. Okay.
I'm with you.
Are you with me? And I will be seeing the 6th installment. But you take Fast and Furious and you go, here comes Vin Diesel's character, and he's going back to his house. And he comes walking in, and his sister, Mia, comes up and goes, what are you doing back here? The feds are staked out all over the place. They're watching this place like a hawk. And he goes, don't worry about it. And then they move on, like cut to scene in kitchen. And it's like, I'm watching a movie going, all right, the feds have staked out the house. You're walking up the front driveway. You have a dilemma. It got solved by the character saying, don't worry about it. Not satisfied. I've not checked that box as a moviegoer.
And yet you don't go see Fast and Furious for the plot turns. You see them for the
right, but
turns.
I still find that it's super lazy.
There's no question.
Super lazy. And when Tarantino has Christoph Waltz and Jamie Foxx, and they're sitting in the saloon, and he tells that guy to go get the marshal. And then you're sitting there going, how the fuck is he going to
get out of this one?
How are they going to get out of this one?
How are they getting out of this
And he just walks out in the street, and everyone's got the guns fixed on him and everything.
So
and you're
good.
like, how is he ever going to get out of this? And then it's completely satisfying. Like, you go, all right, that makes total sense to me. You don't go, oh, come on, bullshit. They never. No, you go, there you go. Well, he did it.
It's so, I know. And that's what's so satisfying is to watch Christoph Waltz just run circles around everybody. It's so enjoyable to watch Christoph be the smartest one in the room and know that he's got something up his sleeve and you don't know what's coming. And Quentin's kind of like that. Like, you know there's going to be some sort of payoff coming. And even in Django, when you think they're getting away and he's going to do it, and then suddenly he gets like, Christoph is shot, he's shackled, it's like, whoa, how the fuck is he going to get out of a mine?
Right.
Like, how's Django going to get out of this? And then to watch Django pick up it's so supreme. And people go, oh, it's the gun violence. No, it's because you're with that character, fantasizing about how you'd get out of it. And whatever Quentin writes, it's like, oh,
it's
course,
just the most interesting material out there.
And by the way, can I just say, it's fucking hard for him. Like, I've watched the guy close when he's writing. And yeah, he writes scenes like any of us. Like, you could sit down. Do you want to write a joke? I'm sure you could, like, you want something about that mug? Yeah, you could do it. But to come up with that A material that's like, that's the joke you're remembered for, it's fucking hard. And like, and Quentin does that. Like, I've watched him. He never, what's so admirable about him is that he never takes the easy way out in any movie, in any situation, in anything he's writing. It's never lazy writing. Like, he's so tough on himself and like squeezes that part of his brain. And he tells me, he's like, the fucking scariest thing is looking at the blank canvas, looking at an empty page. And that's why he doesn't type. He got me handwriting. He's like, my pen is my antenna to God, man. You can't fucking write poetry on a computer. Like, you got to write longhand. So I started writing longhand.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, he's like, it's just, you're more connected to it. Every word counts. You're thinking about it. You're in it. Like, he's like, you're disconnected. There's a level of disconnect with the computer.
I have a question for you, Eli, about your writing. I've heard you say, I think in interviews and podcasts and things, that the horror in your movies is like a parable or sort of an exploration of things of different feelings, or I don't know if you'd use the word wish fulfillment, but that it's symbolic. So I'm just wondering, in Aftershock, like, what is it about?
Well, that Aftershock was really about the collapse of society and the fragility of what we have. Like, here we are, we're in a podcast, we're all behaving, I'm being polite, you're being nice, we're being cool, we have friends to come, we want the show to look good, but then, like, something goes terribly wrong, like they're shaking and you have to grab someone's arm, or like, do I save you or you? It's these moral choices, and you don't know.
Who would you save of us?
Who would you say? Like, well, I don't want to say you in front of Adam, but Adam.
That's got the names on the, well, not really on the building, but at least on the deed.
Yeah, but it's that. It's all about moral choices. So we're thinking of situations, because when Nico told me about it, he's like, he called his girlfriend and she's like, I'm okay, but oh shit, the sirens went off. There's a tsunami. I went, shh. And he's like, wow, what the fuck do I go find her after? And she's an hour and a half away. You can't do it. But people ran into situations where, like, the example for us was, you're running by a building and you hear a crying baby inside. And it's an earthquake, and do you run in and save that baby? But every 5 seconds, there's aftershocks where literally buildings are collapsing. What do you do? So in each situation, we wanted to give the characters that moral choice of what do you do. And in most cases, the thing they choose to do to preserve themselves often turns horribly wrong, but it's also the same choice the audience would have made. So we don't want to make anyone look like a bad guy for doing it, but it's like, that's... You know, it's this fear of being alone. Who do you rely on yourself? But I'm fascinated by the fragility of society. I mean, look at Katrina when things fall apart. And also... I think
even immediately after 9/11, people felt that.
I mean, people like the way how our life is going. And I also love, to me, it was about how the minutiae, the minor problems in your life that you let grow to be of such great importance really don't mean fucking shit. And the earthquake just shakes it up and puts it in perspective. So in the movie, we really... Like, my character plays a guy who's recently divorced and is totally out of touch with dating and meets his friends in Chile, and we're trying to, like, go to clubs and fuck girls, and I can't connect with any girls because I have no game. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, and then he meets this girl who's a model who has, like, a 3-year-old daughter, and they connect on the parent level, but he can't quite close the deal, and then another guy moves, and it's all this minor stuff, and the next thing, your friend's hands are cut off, and you got to get him to a hospital or he's going to bleed to death. But then your other friend is hurt, but like they're slowing down the group. And then these guys that broke out of the prison are trying to get you, and they want to rape the girls, but you got to protect the girls, but you want to protect yourself. It's like all about basically raising the stakes and the moral choices.
Well, and also it's that juxtaposition where 1 minute you're just partying your ass off in a club, and the next minute you're just running for your life, which is the difference between, I don't know, kicking back and watching TV in your underwear and running for your life, which is a juxtaposition, but not as good as dancing your ass off, and not as big a chasm between dancing your ass off and running for your fucking life. But, yes.
No, I was going to say, but that's, Hitchcock talked about the birds symbolized about the randomness of life, how these fucking, like, you're fine one day and then these things just come and attack you. And talking to everyone that lived through that earthquake, they talked about how exactly that, like, you're out with your friends, you're at a club, you're having fun, and the next thing you're literally running through plate glass windows. And he told me that a girl he knows was on a first date with a guy, and They went up to, like, make out point to look at the city, and the fucking earthquake hit, and a huge rock dropped on the car, and the guy was paralyzed. Wow. And this girl is on a first date with this guy, and she's in a car, and the guy's, like, fully paralyzed but alive. She had to take him out of the car, put him in the back seat while there's aftershocks, while they're shaking, and drive down the hill. And he had a stick shift car, and she didn't know how to drive stick, so the car's bucking. And that was like one of thousands of stories that happened to people. And that's just the sad, freaky part of life. That's what scares me.
I'll tell you what he should do. He should get her 12 rainbow roses for just $19.99 from Pro Flowers.
Smooth.
That's what they called
That says
me in high
thanks
school.
for driving me down the hill.
That's right. You know what? He should step it up. He should get the chocolates and the premium pink vase. And
Definitely go for the add-on package.
Yeah, definitely. It's only $29.98. 50% off, everybody. Pro Flowers, recently awarded the highest customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. And, again, Mother's Day right around the corner. He should get his mom something nice, too, because, seeing your son in that wheelchair, it's got to take a lot out of her. And the only way to get this amazing deal is to go to proflowers.com, click on the microphone in the top right corner, and type in ACE. That's proflowers.com, and hit the microphone. Promo code ACE. Order now. Expires very soon. All right, Eli, we're going to do a little news. You want to hang in and crack wise?
Love to.
Love you, baby.
With Allison Rosen.
She'll read some news from her iPad. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's Allison. And when it's time to wrap it up, she'll sign it off with zip it cunt. It's Allison.
So, Adam, I think you'll be happy to hear the FDA has approved the morning after pill without prescription
Oh, good.
for people who are 15 years of age or older, and they do require age. They require proof of age now.
We can have sex with. Did I misunderstand? Or we can have sex with 15-year-olds
That's what
unprotected
I'm
now.
hearing.
'Cause that's what I got out of that.
Yeah, no
Yes.
questions asked.
The FDA approved that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Done
Tired of
with
coming
that.
on those 15-year-old tits? Step it up.
This took a different turn than I was expecting. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, they finally have. Now, it's just Plan B one step, which is because they decided that the studies showed or whatever that 15-year-olds could comprehend how to use one step, whereas some of the other morning after pills are a little bit too complicated. So those you still have to be 17 and older.
Well,
what I'm wondering, though, is let's say a 13-year-old gets pregnant or a 14-year-old.
Oh, hey, that's weird. I'm not going there. I started 15, like they do in Chile. Mm-hmm.
There they have.
I mean, the younger you
Plan
are.
B dubstep. That's like what the kids are into.
Dubstep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know I'm in some minority here probably, but the younger you are, the more access you should have, I think.
Well, look, we don't treat things, we don't address things. It's sort of like, look, it's like clean needles. Like, I remember back in the 80s, AIDS was basically a gay thing, and then it was getting spread around because junkies were getting the needles and they were sharing the needles, and then someone would go, look, let's provide clean needles so the junkies don't get the AIDS spread and so it doesn't make its way into the heterosexual community and drug community and so on and so forth. And then someone would always go, I don't like the idea of giving these junkies free syringes. And I'd always think, like, I don't like it either. But let's be realistic.
Yeah.
They're doing it, and we don't want... What's worse, the free syringes or AIDS running rampant in the heterosexual community and the IV drug-using community? So this is worse. So I don't like the idea of, like, thinking of my daughter at 13 taking the morning after pill. I don't like that idea, but let's also be realistic. We don't want a bunch of unwanted kids running around. It's ironic to me, always has been, because Dr. Drew and I have been talking about this for 14, 15 years since it came out. The groups that claim to hate abortion are the first ones that are trying to shut this shit down, which is insane, because if you hated something or somebody hates something, like if you said, look, I hate male pattern baldness, and then someone went, good, I got a pill that'll cure that, and you went, get that shit out of my face. You'd go, well, wait a minute. Do you really hate male pattern baldness? Because I'm offering you a pill that's going to cure it, or or flat tires, or cold Hungarian food, like whatever it is, I can fix this. So
wait, is there a pill?
Sorry, I was example, bad example. Sorry.
So there's not a pill.
Not Propecia, I think, but I don't think that. I think it's a
Too
little
late
late for
for
you.
you.
The point is, you hate abortions, right? This pill will significantly
because
cut
they hate
down on
sex.
abortions. Right? They hate They
People
hate
having
basically
sex, yeah.
Well, they hate-
recreational.
yeah.
They don't like
Right.
recreational
Right.
sex. And I've been saying for a million, and then everyone called it abortion pills, and Dr. Drew and I would have to explain it's not an abortion pill. But we were yelling about it in
That's where
1998.
they start arguing. We hate abortion. We hate abortion. They're like, no. Like literally the moment you have sex, like upon ejaculation, that's when it starts.
Right.
So anything from that point on is considered abortion.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's crazy.
If you really hate abortion, as at least we sort of define it in modern society, there's a way to drastically reduce that. Here's a way to do it. It's safe. It's easy. It's cost effective. And you want to. And by the way, the same people that are complaining about the welfare moms and the having to buy your kid lunch and all that kind of stuff, they're all many in the same group. We could wipe a lot of that out with this. So I'm for it.
And the people who hate. I mean, we're also talking about people who are against sex education. They're against condoms. I mean, even if they're going to say that life starts at the moment of, I guess, if they're going to say the morning after pill is an abortion pill, even though there is something else called the abortion pill, then how about just condoms?
The other thing is, like, if they're going to argue that life begins at conception, I'd like to propose the counter argument that abortion can be extended until they're 60 years old, so we could abort some of them.
Hey, when you learn to program a universal remote, for me, is when life begins.
You're a viable human.
Yes, you're viable. All right, what
Can I
else?
ask Eli a question real quick?
Sure.
Speaking of getting noticed or recognized at the grocery store, do you ever get recognized or misrecognized for the guy who plays Spock, Zachary Quinto?
I actually had a great moment where I was on a date. It was one of those model dates.
Wow.
But it's weird. The weird. Well, that's actually two pictures of him.
I was going to
Those
say
are two
that
pictures
doesn't
of
look
Zachary
like Eli.
Quinto.
That doesn't look like
Or
Eli.
is it?
We have a crack staff here, and when I say
Quinto
that, I mean
or
their
Roth.
cocks
That was
are
impressive.
chafing.
Yeah, that happened to me. I was on a date with a girl, and some guy's like, I just want to come up to you and say, it's like, okay, it's my son's bar mitzvah. Can I have an autograph? So I'm thinking, of course, it's the Bear Jew. And then he just turns to me and he's like, when's the next Star Trek coming out? And I was like, next week?
You ever get the Girls Gone Wild series?
Joe Francis?
Mm-hmm.
I wish. If
Yeah,
girls
that'd be
came up to me
cool.
and flashed their tits at me,
That'd be
that's
awesome.
a recognition I would take. I
Get
fantasized
that on digital.
about that.
I got to tell you, I can. I find you more attractive than Joe Francis, although there's a certain magnetism the man has.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Undeniably so.
But
Maybe it might be HGH. But
I saw you pop up on TMZ the other night, and they just popped up the picture. I think I was skipping my rope. I didn't have the sound up, and I thought Joe Francis, but I thought just because they like to bust his chops and he got a DUI or whatever. But it was you attacked by an octopi.
Yeah, I guess you could say attacked, or you could say I was snorkeling and the snorkel guide pointed out an octopus and it floated by, and I stupidly reached out to grab it and touched it and thought, this is the coolest. I'm literally like having a bonding moment with an octopus. And then I didn't realize its mouth was on the underside of its belly, and I was like, oh, wow, it's squirting ink. He must be really freaked out at me. And then we got out of the water, and I was like profusely bleeding because I had like a couple bottles of wine the night before and sliced the tip of my finger, and they were like, "You're bleeding." I'm like, "No, I'm not. Like, I didn't even feel it."
You had sliced your finger the night before?
No, I drank wine the night before.
And then sliced your finger on the octopi.
I didn't realize it, but yeah. And then I got out, and I was like, and I felt it, and I thought it was squirting ink, but it was actually blood coming out of my finger. And then I got out, and it was ridiculous. I was like, what I want to know is, does this qualify as me having done battle with an octopus? Can I say I fought an octopus?
I would say. I would definitely
All
say.
right.
Yeah.
I was fighting. It was an old octopus fighting injury.
So it bit you?
Well, yeah. I
If
mean,
it
it was like
beak.
it wasn't like chomp. It was like I was feeling around. It went by, and the little teeth snagged on it.
Yeah.
Ew.
There's nothing greater than the notion of the giant octopus or squid that's doing battle with the whale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just visually.
I would have been
Mortal
the whale
Kombat.
in this
Yeah.
case.
Mm.
It was
Yeah.
about the size of my hand. though.
Where were you?
It was a baby. This was in Hawaii on the Big Island. My
Sweet.
first time there, and I had an attack with sea urchins earlier and I was like, I'm gonna get over my sea urchin phobia. And I was swimming around. I'm like, okay, there's sea urchins, and I'm fine, no problem. There's a little eel. There's a turtle. Oh, little Mr. Octopus, and boom.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, Mr.
Fucker bit.
Octopus, I'm going to put my hand out and touch it. I think that was where.
It's weird because when I'm in the wild and I see an octopus, naturally I assume he's protecting sunken treasure. So
Sure.
I was just reaching for treasure. If there's one
Sure.
thing I've learned from films,
Yeah, they're protecting.
if where there is an octopus, they are protecting sunken treasure. And I wanted to know if there was gold in maybe his belly or where's the treasure.
Yeah, I sort of miss I don't know, feels like a lot of movies had the sea monster or at least eels that were protecting. What was that movie?
Popeye.
The Blue.
The Blue Lagoon.
No, what was the Deep?
Yeah.
The Deep was a movie with Nick Nolte.
Okay.
And
Jacqueline
Bisset.
in a white T-shirt.
Who got out with no bra. Got out of the water. Very exciting. It's all we had for porn back then. And
it was the poster for the Deep. It's true. That National Geographic was
awesome. And there was a ship that sunk with a bunch of drugs or something in it, morphine or something, and there was a giant eel that was protecting the morphine.
Of course.
I know it sounds bizarre, but that's that was the
not
story.
bizarre at all.
Yeah, and Robert Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of Robert Shaw's last movies.
I love that you sometimes struggle to remember your kids' names, and you just nailed the plot of The Deep.
Well,
with detail.
Little douchey and what's his nose over there can get over it. All right.
I'll be watching Black Sunday with Robert Shaw.
That's right.
Continuing my Robert Shaw Film Festival.
And take the Goodyear blimp and run it into the Coliseum during the Super Bowl.
You got it.
Yeah.
No, you don't see treasure chests very often anymore.
No. Yeah, you don't.
Did they have wallets back then?
I don't know how they moved their booty back then.
And you had to hide
chests.
it. You had to. If you had your treasure, like that was like the bank. That was like safer than the bank. It's like today's bitcoins. You got to just like sink your treasure under the sand so the government won't find it. And you get like an octopus, and you're like, look,
we have to have
here's
a map
the deal.
with an X.
Yeah, there's a lot of maps and a lot of guys threatening guys who had the map, or a lot of guys. What would happen with the map? First off, if I was making a map, well, they would get torn in half.
Yeah.
And you'd have one half, and I'd have the other half.
And only an 11-year-old kid in like Santa Clarita, California could actually decode the map because it was found in the grandmother's attic. Mm-hmm. And then you'd have to find a lot of people that could swim with like, blades between their teeth.
I've often said that thing where you jump into a body of water off like a suspension bridge and you decide to put the knife in your mouth.
Yeah,
that's got to be.
Idea.
I'd rather put it up my ass. Mm-hmm. I'd rather I'd put it in my liver not in the mouth.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna wind up like the Joker. Your head, like you're like Mr. Mouth. Your head would literally split in half like that.
Right. Just can't keep his big mouth shut. Mr. Mouth was a game.
See, I remember. It's really sad. Now
Mr. Mouth, Mr. Mouth, Mr. Mouth.
Yeah, that's what would happen to those people.
Kids would try to
unless you were in like
it.
Island of the Fish People, which was retitled as Screamers, where a guy was going for sunken treasure by taking a bunch of people and like keeping them captive and breeding them as mutants to give them gills so they could swim underwater and hold their breath to find the sunken treasure.
About.
There was also a chance you would get your foot caught in a giant clam.
I do not want to fuck with a giant clam. I don't know why there aren't more giant clam deaths in movies. Like giant clams are the scariest thing to me because that's it. They trap you and then you just have to wait and be slowly digested. It's like the sarlacc.
Now, are they the ones that have the fluted?
Yes.
Shell?
Yeah, they're sort of serrated, and they hang out at the bottom, and at some point they close on your foot. And the problem with the slow digestion, that's going to take a while, but you run out of air much faster than they
then your
digest
foot turns into
you.
A pearl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there are giant clams.
Yeah.
I mean, they exist.
Like, we're not making that up.
I don't know where they are.
We made up a lot of stuff tonight,
right.
but we've not made up the giant
that's
clams.
True.
All right. What's the next story, baby girl?
Well, investigators in Boston obtained DNA from the widow of Tamerlan.
Mm-hmm.
The dead Boston.
Right.
Suspect. Although, as someone pointed out, I don't know why they're still calling them suspects because don't we pretty much know it's them? But that's a legal thing.
Oh.
So they're obtaining DNA from her.
Right.
She's American, but she became Muslim. She converted.
Well, it's this thing of I always say stupid or liar. Like they're living in a fucking 2-bedroom, 800 square foot apartment. You're guys who's declared a holy war on America is cooking up a crock pot bomb, and you don't know what's going on in the fucking kitchen. Like
that's the question.
How much of that activity? First off, at least I live in a house of 5,000 square feet. I wouldn't even try beating off if someone's home, and I'm good at it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can do that shit being chased by a Kodiak bear. I wouldn't even try it with someone else in the house.
His history is cleared by the time that tissue hits the trash basket.
That's right. That's right. Now, and if you want to call an old onesie a tissue, then so be it. But the point is this.
What's his face?
Got to bust over that memory glass every once in a while. Get a little mop material. Point is this. How does she not know what this guy's cooking up in that fucking kitchen? Like, just you're really making Irish stew with ball bearings? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, where's her female intuition?
Yeah,
I feel like
so
you just get a weird sense.
you got to know. You got to know.
Female DNA was found on a piece of the pressure cooker, so that's kind of like a breakthrough thing. So now they're trying to find out whose is this.
Yeah, but she's going to know, well, I bought it, but I didn't know what he was planning on doing with it. And then it's going to be a whole bunch of real unsatisfying answers like, well, yeah, I saw him putting the C4 in there, and I saw him doing the thing, and I saw him walking out of the house with it, and I saw him putting the ball bearings in there, but I didn't know what he was going to do, you know. Or she'll do the thing where I was scared of him.
Well, he had been arrested for domestic violence, so she probably was legitimately afraid of him.
Yeah, so then it's done. We're done with her.
Is your belief that there's just no way that these people who are close to them didn't know? And there were a lot of negatives in that sense. The mom, the dad, the wife.
The mom was like recorded talking about things, right?
She was recorded as
saying it's America's fault.
No, but she was recorded before that.
Right, yeah. It turns out that that Russia had listened in on some phone conversations she had. They were watching her, and they were watching Tamerlan, and she and Tamerlan had a conversation where they, quote, vaguely discussed jihad.
Look, I feel the same way I feel about everything. There's always going to be nut jobs. There's always going to be nut jobs. And then there's going to be the people around them that protect us from them, which is to say this. Cops show up after nut jobs blow things up or crash airplanes into things or go on shooting sprees. Cops show up and mop up. In the movies, they get there before people start dying, but in real life, they cordon off the area. And it's basically a lot of, hey, you can't come in here until the guys come in with the body bags and clean up everybody.
It's like somehow they can never do anything until after the thing you're trying to prevent happens.
Well, it's like telling a lifeguard to save someone who hasn't drowned yet. Powerful imagery.
From a giant clam?
Giant clam. Oh, you talking about Allison?
Yeah,
okay.
was that not clear?
The point is this. The cops have to hear gunshots going off or explosions going off, and then they come a-running, or at least a jogging. And that's when they get there. But our first line of defense. So who is our first line? Not the cops, not the firemen, not the FBI, the wives, the mothers, of the fathers of the crazy kids that go on the shooting sprees, the immediate family. We do this thing. It's like, what about the counselors? How come the school counselor? School counselor doesn't give a fuck.
And they're not going to know. There's no way
they're not going to know. And they have 1,500 other kids to look after. And if they took every kid that was pouting and listening to The Cure and yanked them out of class,
there would be no people in the education system.
And they'd get shit canned.
Right.
They'd be sued. So we have a line of defense. That line of defense is the people who live with the nut job, who's carving the pentagram into their mashed potatoes instead of eating them. You know, the ones that are constantly talking about jihad or the white Aryan movement or how, you know, the government needs to be paid back for what they've done. Like, those are the people. Those are the people that live with them. They're married to them sometimes. Sometimes they're parents. Without them, then we got nothing because we don't have enough cops. These cops would need crystal balls. They'd need to know what was going to have to be like a good, you know, Denzel Washington movie. Where I think every third movie is like a cop who can see 9 minutes into the future.
It'd be like virtuosity.
Virtuosity,
wow.
Yeah.
Digging deep.
Yeah, we went deep.
So
imagine if you could only see 9 minutes into the future, though.
I think that was a Nick Cage movie, right?
Knowing?
That was Knowing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Ben Affleck Uma Thurman one.
Oh, jeez, I can't even think of what that one was.
You're not allowed to think of it.
Okay, I'm done.
Your brain won't let you.
So, seeing how there's not enough cops to prevent nutball, either troubled 26-year-old kid who's going for the jihad or fucked up 14-year-old for shooting up the Columbine or wherever he's going, how's a fucking cop supposed to anticipate this? And, all right, so you put a cop at the end of the finish line. It's still not going to do anything. Or you put him in Columbine. He's not going to be able to get to them when they barricade the whatever. Maybe the body counts go from 12 to 9, but still, you can't see this in advance. So, moms, dads, paycheck. Sorry, it just got typed in here. What did I come with the Uma Thurman movie? So, moms, dads, husbands, wives, they need to be held accountable, and we need to shout it from the mountaintop. We need to say, hey, Somebody in your family goes on a fucking killing spree, and it's under your roof, and they're living at your house, and they're making that bomb in your kitchen. You're fucking getting your feet held to the fire, bitch. And spread the word.
Like drinking. If someone gets drunk at the house, if the kid gives another kid, the parents of the house are responsible, even if they had nothing to do. If alcohol is given under your roof, you have to, unless you're giving alcohol to 15-year-olds, because now there's that new FDA-approved.
we have.
It's like there's the awareness out there of like, don't drink in this house because I'm not going to get fucked for what your friends do.
Our society is set up that way that when a private goes on a killing rampage, the general gets court-martialed. Like, that guy was under your watch. Why didn't you do something about it or see it coming? And we do this way with everything. You know, manager, a restaurant, someone gets drunk, goes get in a car, they sue the restaurant. The manager maybe wasn't even there that night. Doesn't matter. We understand that sort of responsibility under your watch, except for the most important one, which is killing people while they're living at home. So let's take the parents of all these disasters and all these tragedies and murders, and let's take the spouses, and let's take all these people, and let's take them and fucking flog them in the public square and send a message to everyone, which is the next time you see the husband doing something suspicious with the crock pot, you fucking drop a dime on his ass, or you're going to get your ass caned. Thank you.
Well, here's something a little lighter. A meteorologist on the Weather Channel had a bad case of hiccups, and there's a video that shows it that's going viral right now. And I brought this in because it's, I think, for people who speak all the time into microphones or on air, it's something that everyone's afraid of. And because Dave Damashek was crowing about his 4.5 years of not having hiccups. So anyway, we're just unfortunately the hiccups are kind of there's too much time in between them. So here's just a few of them.
Are you guys with me? Remember I said on stage the other night, I don't feel like I see black people sneeze enough.
Yes, I remember you said that. No, I think you said you'd never seen them sneeze.
I feel
like they do it not around us.
It's like squirrels shitting. I understand they do it, and there's a lot of squirrels, but I never see them.
They're going to need some proof.
They're not going to do it in front of you.
There's something going on. I don't know, arguably.
Our black guest did not kind of shit on Adam's point. He didn't go with it.
But I'm just saying, I've seen enough black people. I've hung out with enough black people. Even when they do commercials, when they do those like Nasal X commercials and stuff like that with the bee buzzing around.
Interesting.
They don't have a lot of black people on those commercials.
Right.
Maybe they don't get the allergies. I don't feel. You ever see like if a black guy went, oh man, I got hay fever. Like you'd go, what?
We need to watch
when it's the white dude does it. You go, right?
No, I'm a Jew, and we've co-opted anything allergy, anything sneezing.
Jews,
right? Like we got it, and like
you're gonna take sickle cell in a a few minutes.
Exactly.
You're this close.
Oh, I have asthma and allergies. Where's my inhaler? Like you don't rarely hear that.
It's weird, and I feel like the Jews have co-opted a lot of the allergies and a lot of the hay fevers and things like that, the pollen counts and stuff like that. As I said to Alonzo Bowden, I don't feel like I've ever had a brother ask me about the pollen count. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't feel like they're sneezing enough. I'd like to get to the bottom of that.
Black people who listen to this show, let us know.
Yeah. I like to check into it. I bet statistically they don't have as many allergies as Whitey does.
And you don't even hear, they have Wheezy, and there's Yeezy that are rappers, but you don't have Sneezy.
No.
Maybe it's because it's a dwarf.
And Runny. That's right.
You don't have, Sniffly. Like, there's no rapper names.
Also, Old Dirty
that
Sniffly.
Actually, you don't hear them like Sniffly. Sneezy, Scratchy, you don't have that.
Yeah, and a cool way to spell, like, sinus.
P-S-Y.
Yeah.
N-U-S.
And Wheezy, when he said Wheezy.
They don't even have a guy named Deviant Septum.
I thought Jefferson's too.
This is getting uncomfortable.
They did have Wheezy.
Oh, please.
Yeah, the Wheezy. No,
Listen.
You thought Jefferson? Oh.
Hey, you have a huge cock, an incredible vertical leap, and you almost never sneeze. Come on. That's a slap in the face?
Yeah.
I'd take that any day of the week.
True.
Thank you. Imagine where that vertical would be if they could sneeze at the exact right moment. I mean, like a rocket ship. Big nostrils. Boom.
Boosters?
So you're coming up under a guy, and some guy just sneezes down on you and gets in your face.
Yeah.
That's like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Literally, you could
with
shoot
that kind of vertical.
Exactly.
Yeah. I will bet you this. I've always said this. I know all the guys I worked construction with back in the day. It was never lactose intolerant. There was never any
peanut.
Yeah, it was never set gluten free. It was not they couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
I think the Jews and or Whitey, the soft Whitey, has earned their way to an allergy. I feel like the brothers, they're too hardy. Like they're too busy working. Like I think
it's almost like the non-Jews decided that their kids had ADD, which I don't remember anyone I ever met ever growing up having something called ADD. They were just being kids.
Right.
And now everybody, like the Ritalin, is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like an epidemic.
All right. I'm going to find some stats on black people sneezing. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'll get to the bottom of this.
So did you want to hear the hiccups? It's just the guy hiccuping and trying to do the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, inside the Beltway for the moment you're dry, but you get outside the Beltway, really it's Highway 6 all the way out to Katy, and it is just a mess out there. Expect to be slowed down, and there will be some high water spots, especially along the exit and entrance ramps along I-10. Katy's had most of the rain so far. Lightning and thunder, has just moved off the west southern portions of Waller County, now getting very wet there. 37 lightning strikes here during the past 15 minutes. There's the storm near Addicks, which is making it just a mess. Highway 6, where it meets I-10 on the west side, Addicks. I have the hiccups, of course. This would happen right when we have heavy weather.
This goes on for a whole 3 minutes.
The hiccuping.
Yeah, and then he sort of slows down and takes a deep breath, and then it still continues.
The hiccup, by the way, is the only thing I can't really fully control.
Have you had it on air?
I had an attack recently. It was terrifying, but I found a great cure for hiccups if you're live on the air.
Sure.
Every time you hiccup, you just throw in a horrible racial slur after and say you have Tourette's.
Oh, that's awesome. I can work that in with my black people sneezing thing.
Exactly.
I had a moment, I don't know why, speaking of controlling things, but I had this moment today, and you guys tell me if it could get any worse than this. So I'm sitting with our friend Kevin Hench.
We love the Hench.
We love the Henchman. And we're writing our next movie script together. And Hench is just one of these guys where he's on hiatus from his TV show, Last Man Standing, and he's ready to go whenever I'm ready to go. So we just pick our little, he says, what's your schedule like? I go, I can do breakfast, or I can do lunch, or I can do whatever. So I had to get up early this morning and do some radio. And I got up this morning, I did some radio, and I figured I'm going to be done at like 7:45. Hench dropping his kid off at school. I said, I can meet you at the restaurant at the diner at like 8:45 this morning. We can knock out a couple pages on the script. So we do it, but I realize, as I've said all the time, my bowel clock has been thrown off. Because instead of doing what I'm normally doing, which is holding a cup of coffee at 9 o'clock at my house and putzing around in my bathrobe, I'm now in a diner and I'm on my fourth cup of coffee, and I just finished my,
It's go time.
It's go time. So I do the move where it's like, oh boy, it's go time. I'm not at home. I'm not in the friendly confines in the home, but it's go time. So I go, okay, I'm going to have to try. I'm working out the courtesy flush math. I'm trying to figure this one out.
Seat cover.
Yeah, I'm doing all the math of I'm going to crap up some place where people try to eat. And I do this thing where I stand up, and I'm starting to stand up, and a guy at the table that's just to our right, who basically looks like Hurley from Lost. Yeah. He looks like the fucking roadie from Papa Roach. Like, big fucking beard, big fat guy, just wearing chants and everything, and long hair.
You're literally describing my worst nightmare.
Right. He gets up, and he walks. He walks past me and it goes to where there's one bathroom. It's the his and hers. It's the one bathroom. It's the one bathroom. And it's like, I know he's not walking to the other side of the small restaurant chatting up the table near the window. He just got up to go to the bathroom. But I already started the countdown.
You've already let your body mentally know that in 45 seconds I will be sitting on that throne.
I will be on there. Like, I've already said, all right,
and
I've
your
begun
body
the
is
sequence.
Still, and now you have to stop, put on the brakes, and put it in reverse and try and make it go away. It's
right.
my
So
nightmare.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh Christ. Now it really gets bad, because not only have I began the self-destruct countdown on this little bowel spaceship I have here, he's gone for 19 minutes. Like, I'm that big husky dude with the fucking full beard and the crazy hair and the bad tattoos is fucking destroying that place. He's painting that place with shit. And I'm just sitting there all the time, like, oh, Jesus
And you're looking
Christ.
now across the street at other. Is there anywhere I can leave the restaurant? Or like, what's the nearest? Is there a furniture place that I can pretend I'm shopping for furniture to use your bathroom?
Paquito Mas.
There you go.
By the way, they were going to get a
By the
little
way,
more.
when you're
than-
running to the Mexican chain,
yes,
you know it's serious.
Literally bottomed out. I fucking bottomed out.
A lot more.
I'm eyeballing the Mexican joint.
Of course.
I'm just going,
People have asked me before, if you could be a superhero, what would your power be? And the answer, without flinching, is to control when I could take a dump.
So
in a second.
I'm now thinking about standing up and making my way across to the Mexican place to try to use the bathroom over there. I'm doing that thing where it's like a minute
You're
14.
sweating.
Like, where the fuck is this guy? What is he doing in there? How many shits can a man take? And I'm telling Hench, I'm like, okay, I've been sort of sitting on this little secret for, 10 minutes here.
I actually haven't listened to any of your dialogue.
You're wondering-
I'm not sweating thinking about the plot.
You're wondering why I haven't been contributing like I normally do. I've been having a fucking shit. I got to take a shit. And this fucking guy, Hench doing the move where he's trying to look, but he's trying not to look, but he's looking behind him a little bit. And I go,
He's got a wingman.
That guy over there has fucking been gone for 18 fucking minutes. And then I go, so I'm about ready to make my move for Paquito Mas, and I see the hair-covered behemoth come walking past in front of me. Sits down, and I go, all right, Hench, I got to move. His partner now pops up.
you got
His
it.
partner pops up and walks immediately out of the thing. I'm like, oh, you guys take turns shitting up restaurants? How's this work? I've been to this restaurant 421 times. Hench has never used the bathroom once. I've taken 2 pisses there. This will be
You're
my
not
first
going
shit.
there for the bathroom.
I know. I'm going there for the eggs. I'm just off. My bowel clock
I
is
know.
fucked up because I've had too much coffee and I got up too early. And
So,
it's
by God, where did you go?
now I'm sitting there and I've brought the landing gear back up into the belly of the plane. You know
That's
what I mean?
always
And I'm
uncomfortable.
circling the
It's
airport.
uncomfortable to do that.
I had to crank it up by
Yeah.
hand.
You had to. You
I
had to
crank it
it's
up.
mental
Yeah.
harnessing. It's horrible.
Mhm.
If
It was like
Hench-
that Memphis Belle movie. I had to crank it up.
If Hench was any kind of friend, he would have been the Tom Rathman to your Roger Craig.
Just lead.
Block, you
Just
lead,
blow
block.
that door
Because
open.
I find that's like trying to fold up a big map.
Right.
It never
Yeah,
folds up
it's never
as,
the same.
Yeah.
It's not like it was at
It's
the gas
actually
station.
literally, to bring it back to this was an Irwin Allen disaster
It
movie.
really
the
was.
Inferno, the flames are going up the Inferno, and
Yes.
there's like more all-stars kept popping up out of the booths.
And so I'm sitting there going,
There comes Telly Savalas. Oh, Shelley Winters is going in there now.
When's Brown Button's going to get back from the fucking commode? And I'm like, is he shitting there? Now, my only consolation is he's taking the brunt of the shit load that's taking place in there. And so this guy thankfully just goes in there, and this guy does something that's wacky. He goes in and comes back so fast.
Oh, that means
that
he didn't absorb
I don't know
the
if he
smell.
took a piss or he just
Or
took
just
one
went in
step
and was
in and
like,
went, oh,
no
shit,
fucking
no
way.
way, and turned around and went, I'll live to piss another day.
Oh,
so now I'm sitting there, and I stand up and I go, okay, Hench, I got to move. I got to move on this. And he goes, don't breathe it in. Like, don't take it in. But I realize I have a kind of nasal Tourette's.
Oh,
like, I have to
God.
fucking suck. Like,
You gotta
Otherwise,
face
you're
your
going to
worst
suck it
fear.
in your mouth. I mean, it's coming in
it
somehow.
doesn't matter. I know it. I know
you're
it's
taking
there.
it in,
Like, I
yeah.
have to fucking sample it. I have to do an ass sample. I have to. Do you guys have to?
Yeah.
Like, you just fucking
I
have
yeah.
to?
I can't.
I
I've
do.
mastered. And thank God I can't breathe out my nose sometimes. I've literally, like the way surfers will walk underwater with a rock to like
Right.
really learn to control holding their breath.
Sure.
I
saw Blue Crush.
I practice all year for Coachella for when I have to take a piss.
Brown
I will
Crush.
literally, we're driving and everyone's like, what bands do you want to hear? And I'm like,
Yeah.
and they're like, what bands? And literally I'm like, I'm sorry, I was rehearsing mentally for when I have to go into those porta potties at Coachella.
Oh, goddamn. Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Well, let me
Before I
say-
get my horror movie ideas.
There should be the number one porta potty, right? Because
There is. It's called The Planet. But
well, I guess for
there's too many-
guys.
yeah.
I guess for guys. All right. Let's
But what happened? What's the resolution?
I said I'm making a move. Hench gave me, gave me the fist. Be strong. He said, don't breathe.
Supportive
I said,
friend.
I can't do that. If I'm not back in 20 minutes, you send help. Send in guys after me. I walked in. I didn't smell anything.
Wow.
I did not smell anything.
was not
I don't
prepared for that.
know what happened. I don't know if he did a double courtesy flush. I did a double courtesy flush, and then the decision. I've done a little damage, not much. It's been minimal. Maybe a 3.1 earthquake. Not Chile.
Yeah.
And but I've done a little.
It's like Marina Del Rey.
Little damage. Double flush, double courtesy flush. Did something. Curious if you guys ever done this. Now, I realize I'm staring at the Lysol can behind me. If I give a shot of the Lysol, it's a towel.
Totally.
It's a towel. It means there's damage done. It's waning. It's not much, but if someone comes in immediately, it's detectable. I have figured out that if you use enough soap when you wash your hands, you kind of wave it around like I'm going to let God dry my hands. You just get this dial sort of smell through the air. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
100%.
Okay, good. Now we can
By the way,
move.
I'm terrified to touch the Lysol because I think, well, who were the people before me? Why was the situation so bad that they went to the Lysol?
Yeah.
And what was on their hand before they pushed that little button?
It's weird, yet you're right into the mouth of an octopus. But yet you won't touch a can of Lysol.
I would touch an octopus in the wild, and I wouldn't touch a can of Lysol.
So much
I'm like
goddamn
classy
range.
Freddie Blassie with my germophobia.
I got to tell you quickly, this is bad timing. Huge, fresh, juicy berries, Sherry's berries, dipped in white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, rolled in nuts and chips and chocolate chips.
Don't picture them. Just trust us. They're delicious.
Trust us. They're unbelievable. I mean, you literally, it's a strawberry you eat with a knife and fork. It is undamn believable. And Mother's Day coming up. Let's make Mama happy. Get her the Sherry's berries, and it's only $19.99. That's over 40% savings. Let's get it in time for Mother's Day, and get her the beautiful. I mean, these things are like they got hit by gamma radiation. You can't believe what God can do. It gives me belief in humanity and God. There must be a God if there's a Sherry's berries. Double the berries for just $10 more. Offer ends soon. Go to Berries. That's BERRIES.com. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in ACE. All right. Bring it home, baby girl.
That's the news. I'm Allison Rosen. Zip it, cons.
That was the news with Allison Rosen.
Aftershock, name of the movie, out May 10th in selected theaters. And you can shoot Eli a tweet over at Eli Roth if you like. And Eli, always a delight.
Oh, thanks, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Come back anytime you like,
I
my
shall.
brother. So, until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Ray Oldhofer, Eli Roth, Allison Rosen, and Bald Bryan.